Hello, Lions. My name is Abdulrazak Garba. I'll be taking this presentation on behalf of Group 9, which are Happy, Peace, Alerts, and my humble self. Uh, as part of the prerequisites for this presentation, we're required to take a picture in an environment. And this picture was taken in Abuja, Nigeria. And as you can see from the picture, we have two young Fulani herders, a young boy of about 6 years old and his older brother. And we can see their cattle here eating grass, and in such an environment with a stagnant water such as this containing algae and a potential breeding site for vectors of zoonotic diseases. And we can see some environmental changes going on here, erosion, due to environmental degradation, due to human activities. So from this picture, we can see there's a whole lot of risk to both the humans here, the young boy in this kind of environment, of 6-year-old child in this environment, and then even the cattle are exposed to disease conditions. And you can agree with me when I say that the cattle look really malnourished. So please stay with me as we go through the presentation. Thank you. So just as an overview, the activities that have led to such a situation as seen in the picture, or the activities we can see, grazing in open places, as we have seen, cattle grazing in such an open place, a risky environment, which usually was led due to deforestation, urbanization. These Fulani herder communities were displaced from their immediate environment, and now they have to start looking for pasture for their cows. All this has been due to increased population growth and urbanization. And as we can see from the picture, grazing of this cattle in swampy areas or areas that are breeding sites for vectors of zoonotic diseases would lead to the outcomes we have outlined below, such as illness, sicknesses in both humans and animals, struggle to find pasture, pollution of swamps with feces and from the cows, loss of cattle due to the illness, loss of land, soil erosion, as we saw in the picture. And all this deforestation and environmental change will lead to increased exposure of this cattle to contact with wildlife and other neighboring cattle populations. All these factors come together to increase the risk of zoonotic diseases, and they increase the rates of zoonotic diseases and their transmission. And we were able to highlight some, such as Rift brucellosis, bovine tuberculosis, and the Rift Valley fever. But we decided to talk about one, which is bovine tuberculosis. So what is bovine tuberculosis? Bovine tuberculosis is a bacterial disease of animals caused by members of the Mycobacterium bacteria, and bovis in particular. It has a very high prevalence in nomadic herder populations, livestock farmers, and their cattle. And symptoms in cattle include appetites, loss of appetite, weight loss, fever, diarrhea, and others. In humans, the manifestations are similar to pulmonary TB, but there's a higher predilection for the gastrointestinal system, since infection to humans is usually through ingestion of infected meat and drinking unpasteurized milk. And symptoms include productive cough, fever, night sweats, chest pain, and loss of appetite. So all these factors come together and interact and lead to increase in transmission of bovine tuberculosis in the environment, based on the picture that we saw. As we can see here, there's a figure, there's a pictorial representation of the vicious circle of the wicked problem of bovine tuberculosis, which, by the way, is a neglected tropical disease, neglected zoonotic disease, sorry. You can see humans get infected through cattle by direct contact or by taking in raw milk and meat products. And then the cattle also infect the environment and also get infected from the environment if the bacteria is in the soil. So as I said, population growth, urbanization, drinking of uncooked or unpasteurized milk in humans, malnutrition, poverty, and limited knowledge on bovine TB all leads to increase in infection rates in humans. And in the environment, contamination of the environment, deforestation, and in animals, we have cattle dynamics such as migration of cattle from one place to another due to displacement as a result of urbanization. And this leads to more contact with wildlife reservoirs of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, that's the badger population. So this is just a map outlining the previous TB bovine tuberculosis outbreaks and the prevalence of TB in the world today. As we can see, there was a documented outbreak in Ireland, and there's one that was documented in South Africa. On the right, we have the map, show you the world map, which is courtesy of the World Organization for Animal Health, who in 2017 did a research to report the incidence and prevalence of bovine tuberculosis in the world. And this involved 188 countries. And out of this 188 countries, about 82 countries reported bovine tuberculosis. As we can see, the areas shaded in darker blue show presence of BTB in domestic and wildlife, such as in Southern America here, and then Southern Africa. And then we can see countries like Australia have been able to control this disease. So bovine tuberculosis, I need to mention, is a very difficult disease to treat both in humans and in cattle. In humans, is usually resistant to one of the drugs used to treat TB, which is pyrazinamide. In animals, also treatment rates are very, very poor. So we suggest that we need to strengthen our animal and human health system using a One Health approach that involves both the veterinary, human health, animal health services, the human health services, and also the environmental health stakeholders to come together and see how we can solve this problem. So we recommend strengthening of the animal health system, which would lead to improved treatment and prevention, and increased surveillance in livestock and wildlife, since most of developing countries still suffering from this disease have weak animal health systems for surveillance. So we need to fund more surveillance, which we feel should use a community-based approach, so that we'll have to trickle down to the local farmers and the herders and educate them and empower them on how they can treat and vaccinate their cattle, and also educate them on how to contain sick animals to prevent them from mixing up with healthy ones. Also, we need to do intensive testing of animals, so that we need to create strategies to ensure strict movement controls of wildlife, domestic animals into wildlife territory. And then we need to partner with international organizations such as the World Animal Health Organization, World Health Organization, and the Food and Agriculture Organization, and use their roadmap that they have created for the elimination of bovine tuberculosis. Also, and human health needs to be improved, but we believe that a comparative discussion between animal and human health would lead to better understanding of the disease, in the sense that successes in animal health can also be used to see how we can improve human health burden of this disease. Overall, we feel with these steps, there will be an increase or improved human health, improved economy, improved animal health, improved animal productivity. And then when the environmentalists come together to ensure such environments like the one we saw in the picture are prevented from being created, then we know we'll have a safer environment. Thank you very much for listening. We'd like to end our presentation with a quote from a survivor of zoonotic TB, bovine TB. Her name is Timpian Leseni. She's Maasai from Kenya. And she said, and I quote, "I suffered from abdominal TB as a consequence of cultural traditions of drinking unpasteurized milk. I'm now working to educate my community, the Maasai people, on how to fight zoonotic TB through my civil society organization, Talaku. We believe we need such advocacy to go down to the community level and create more awareness to improve the well-being of all populations worldwide." Thank you very much. And please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. These are our references. Thank you.